prolific passer in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has set the all-time single-season assist record with 317 and counting.
Seriously, you don't do this if you like Caitlin Clark. If you got respect for her, sure, maybe you eventually have Sheryl Swoopes on.
Caitlin Clark just broke the WNBA single-season assist record. She's also the new rookie scoring champ. But Sheryl Swoopes says she's not dominating? What's going on here? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Alright, let's talk about Clark's game. Picture this, a rookie stepping onto the court and immediately playing like she's been there for years. How is it possible that someone so new to the league is already rewriting the record books? Well, buckle up, because Caitlin Clark's rookie season is nothing short of mind-blowing. First off, let's look at her stats. We're talking 20 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's insane for a rookie.
It is wildly impressive, and there are even potentially more records to come. But when you think about the assists, I've said this before.
Most first-year players are just trying to find their footing, but Clark, she's out here running the show like a seasoned pro. But here's where it gets really wild. Clark isn't just putting up good numbers, she's breaking records left and right. She set the WNBA single-season scoring record for a rookie with 761 points in 39 games. The previous record? 744 points held by Simone Augustus. Clark didn't just break it, she smashed it. And you know what's even crazier? She's not just a scorer. Clark also set the WNBA single-season assist record. That's right, she's not only putting up points, but she's making her teammates better too. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Now, let's put this in perspective. Some players spend their entire careers trying to reach these kinds of milestones. Clark? She's done it in her first season. It's like she skipped the whole rookie learning curve thing and went straight to dominate the league mode. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all these incredible achievements, Sheryl Swoopes is out here saying Clark isn't dominating. Which begs the question, if this isn't domination, what is? I mean, what more does a rookie need to do to be considered dominant? It's not just about the numbers though. It's about how Clark is changing the game. She's not just playing well for a rookie, she's playing well, period. Veterans are taking notice, coaches are game planning for her, and fans are tuning in just to watch her play. And let's talk about expectations for a second. When you're a highly drafted rookie, there's a ton of pressure to perform. Some players crumble under that pressure. But Clark, she's not just meeting expectations, she's blowing them out of the water. So, when we look at all of this, the record-breaking stats, the impact on the game, the way she's handling the pressure, it's hard not to see it as domination. Clark isn't just having a good rookie season, she's having a historic one. Now imagine you're Caitlin Clark, fresh out of college and crushing it in the pros. You're on top of the world, right? Well, Sheryl Swoopes doesn't quite see it that way. What does she know that we don't? Turns out, Swoopes is bringing a whole different perspective to the table. She's not just throwing shade, she's got some real insights that might make you think twice about what it means to dominate in the WNBA. Here's the thing, Swoopes is talking about the massive jump from college to the pros. She's saying, yeah, Clark was a beast in college, but the WNBA? That's a whole different ballgame. And she's got a point. The speed, the physicality, the strategy, it's all cranked up to 11 in the pros. Swoopes isn't saying Clark isn't good. Far from it. She actually said, I didn't say she wouldn't be good. I thought it would take her some time to adjust to being a professional. That's not hate. That's real talk from someone who's been there, done that. And let's talk about the pressure. Being a #1 draft pick isn't all glitz and glamour. Swoopes knows this better than anyone. She's saying, don't put all that pressure on these rookies. Let them adjust. Let them understand what it means to be a pro. It's like she's telling us to pump the brakes on our expectations. But here's where it gets really interesting. Swoopes is big on watching the games, not just reading the stat sheet. She's saying, if you watch the game, you're like, damn man, she could have had this, she could have had that. It's not just about the numbers. It's about how the game unfolds.
As
Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
Prolific passer in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has set the all-time single-season assist record with 317 and counting.
The missed opportunities, the almost theirs. Now, Swoopes isn't blind to Clark's talent. She's actually saying both Clark and Angel Reese have exceeded expectations. But she's sticking to her guns about what real domination in the WNBA looks like. It's not just about one season. It's a process that takes time. And get this, Swoopes drops a bomb by saying, leading the WNBA in assists is not necessarily dominating. Wait, what? But isn't that exactly what domination looks like? Well, according to Swoopes, it's more complicated than that. It depends on how those assists fit into the bigger picture of the game. So, what's the deal here? Is Swoopes just being hard on Clark, or is she giving us a masterclass in understanding pro basketball? Think about it.
Told you to ignore them. What we're saying is if you're going to give the Indiana Fever all the credit in the world, how you going to mention the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark's name even coming up?
Because if she liked Caitlin Clark, if she was cool with Caitlin Clark, she wouldn't have Caitlin Clark's number one hater, Sheryl Swoopes.
She's not just looking at the highlight reel. She's considering the whole game, the adjustment period, the pressure, and the long-term impact. It's like Swoopes is saying, hey, slow down. Let's appreciate Clark's incredible rookie season, but let's also understand that true domination in the WNBA is a whole different beast. She's not taking anything away from Clark's achievements. She's adding depth to how we view them. Okay, so we're talking about domination in the WNBA, but what if we're missing the bigger picture? Swoopes and Clark might both have a point here. Let's break this down and see if we can figure out what's really going on. When we think about dominating in sports, we usually think about big numbers, right? Points, assists, rebounds, all that good stuff. And yeah, Clark's got those in spades. But Swoopes is saying that's not enough. So what gives? Here's the thing. Domination isn't just about personal stats. It's about how you change the game. And that's where things get interesting with Clark. Sure, she's putting up crazy numbers, but have you seen what she's doing for her team? Check this out. After the Olympic break, the Fever went on a tear, going 9-4. That's not just good, that's a total turnaround. And guess who was right in the middle of it? Yep, Caitlin Clark. She's not just scoring and dishing assists, she's changing how the whole team plays. But here's where it gets really wild. Let's talk about Angel Reese for a second. She's another rookie who's making waves, but in a totally different way. Reese is out here averaging a double-double, focusing on rebounds and defense. It's like night and day compared to Clark's game, but both of them are having a huge impact. So what does this tell us? It's simple. There's more than one way to dominate in the WNBA. Clark's doing it with her scoring and playmaking, while Reese is owning the paint and shutting down opponents. They're both rookies, but they're changing the game in their own unique ways. And that's the key here. When we talk about dominance, we can't just look at one set of stats. We've got to look at the whole picture. How is a player changing their team?
Learning to play together, and that definitely comes through what Caitlin Clark is able to do at the point guard position, setting her teammates up for success.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team.
Are they making their teammates better? Are they forcing other teams to change how they play? Think about it like this. Clark isn't just putting up numbers, she's making the Fever a team that other squads have to worry about. Before she showed up, teams could kind of overlook Indiana. Now, they've got to game plan for her specifically. That's a whole different level of impact.
I have a personal relationship with these players, and they deserve recognition as well. That ain't the point, Sheryl Swoopes. Yes, I did listen to your entire podcast. You didn't mention Caitlin Clark.
Seriously, you don't do this if you like Caitlin Clark. If you got respect for her, sure, maybe you eventually have Sheryl Swoopes on.
But Swoopes has a point too. Dominating in the WNBA isn't just about one hot season. It's about consistency, about adapting as other teams figure you out. Clark's having an amazing rookie year, no doubt. But the real test will be how she grows and evolves her game over time. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we need a new way to look at rookie success. Instead of just tallying up points and assists, we should be asking, how has this player changed their team? How have they forced other teams to adapt? And most importantly, what kind of foundation are they laying for long-term success? When we look at it that way, both Clark and Reese are doing something special. They're not just putting up numbers, they're changing the way their teams play. They're making their mark on the league in different ways, but both are undeniably impactful.